Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for September 25th. September 25th is the 268th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 269th in leap years, with 97 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is benefic. Benefic is an adjective that means beneficent or kindly. You might also hear it in astrology, in which case it relates to or denotes the planets of Jupiter and Venus, traditionally considered to have a favorable influence. The word benefic comes to us from Latin. And with that, we're going to start out when Columbus set out on his second voyage to America on September 25th, 1493. This is the birthday of Whig Prime Minister Henry Pelham, born September 25, 1694. He introduced the Gin Act, also known as the Sale of Spirits Act of 1750. This was an act of the Parliament of Great Britain, which was enacted in order to reduce the consumption of spirits. The consumption of spirits apparently was a popular pastime then, as it is now, was regarded as one of the primary causes of crime in London. Imagine that. By prohibiting gin distillers from selling to unlicensed merchants and increasing fees charged to merchants, it eliminated small gin shops, thereby restricting the distribution of gin to larger distillers and retailers. Sequoia National Park was established by the United States Congress on September 25, 1890. As you might know, this park, located in California, is famous for its giant sequoia trees. This is the birthday of artist Mark Rothko, born September 25, 1903. The signature style of Mark Rothko's paintings is what you could call color field painting. Bold blocks of color were given featured edges and together made up these large abstract compositions that remain particularly famous even today. Mark Rothko lived to the age of 66. This is the birthday of baseball great Phil Rizzuto, nicknamed Scooter. He played his entire career with the New York Yankees and was elected to the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 1994 by the Veterans Committee. Phil Rizzuto lived to the age of 89. This is the birthday of American journalist, producer, and author Barbara Walters, born September 25, 1929. This is the birthday of author, poet, illustrator, and songwriter Shel Silverstein, born September 25, 1930. He's best known for dark comedy and children's fiction. Shel Silverstein lived to the age of 68. Now, this doesn't happen very often, but in September of 1982, the song Abracadabra by Steve Miller Band reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for a week, was edged out by another song for a couple weeks, and then returned to the #1 spot for another week, which is where we find it on September 25th, 1982. Story has it that the band had a separate recording contract in the US and Europe, and they'd released Abracadabra in Europe, where it did very well. But Steve Miller said Capitol Records hadn't wanted to record Abracadabra, thinking it didn't have hit potential. He used the song's popularity everywhere else in the world as leverage to convince Capitol Records to let him release the song in the US. Abracadabra by Steve Miller Band, #1, September 25th, 1982. Link in the description. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with the link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page that is called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, Parler, BitChute, and Gitter. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.